say, I know you're all here to talk about, how can we win in 2008. And I just want to just briefly touch on that. I think the way we can win is that there is so many millions and millions of swing voters out there, independents. And I think what we have to do is welcome those independents in. This is where our power is. Because the Democrats are losing voters and members. The Republicans are losing members. And these are the independents. And the key thing is who is out there in office, the best package, and the best kind of agenda, the best platform for those independents. And so to me, I think this is where the action is. People ask me all the time, how did you win in a state that is a democratic-based state? The majority is Democrats, legislators, the majority is Democrats, the state office holders, most of them are Democrats. How did you win as a Republican? And I said, because I appealed to the swing voters, to the independents. That is where the action is. This is why I do, and because I'm interested, not only for them, for myself, to do healthcare reform, to go and rebuild the infrastructure in California, and to go and to do the things like environmental issues. Very, very important for me, environmental issues. It's one of the key things, because to me it makes no sense if we talk about rebuilding and building our economy and booming with our economy, and in the meantime we're destroying our land and our water, and then we're creating the greenhouse gas emissions and the global warming in orders. It backfires. I think we can do both. We can protect the economy and we can protect the environment at the same time. And this is what I'm doing. If you look at the poll numbers and the environment, I mean, it is like 82% of Californians say this is an extremely important issue for them. And a huge majority of Republicans are saying this is a very important issue for them. So it's not that it is not a Republican issue. It is a Republican issue. It is a Republican issue, and I think we ought to be involved in those kind of issues. We ought to be involved, Republicans and Democrats ought to be involved in healthcare reform. We shouldn't be just one party or the other. Both parties should be involved, like we do in California. We both try to work together on those kind of issues so that we can put the spotlight on it and say, this is what Republicans stand for. And I think this is what we have to do nationwide if we want to win in 2008. To really broaden out and to go and tackle those things. If it is education, if it is healthcare, if it is the environment, if it is the infrastructure of this country, if it is immigration, all of those things ought to be addressed by the presidential candidates. And if they are addressing it, then they can win. That is the bottom line. So with that, I just want to again finish here today by saying thank you all for being here. I want to thank all the volunteers that are really responsible for making us shine. And think about, many times people forget about the volunteers that are out there. When I travel around the state, I see them. When I go to the various different, Republican, headquarters, and I see them at 12 o'clock midnight still making phone calls and working, doing extraordinary work of being out there and putting the yard signs out there, knocking on doors and getting the voters to the polls and all of those kind of things. I want to thank also the activists, and I want to thank also the state and the national party leaders, everyone for working together, because those are the ones that make us win. Those are the ones that really work around the clock and really all year long to make it all happen. I want to thank them also, and I want to thank you for being here, and make sure to stay as long as you can and spend as much money as you can, because we need the revenues, okay? So thank you very much, and I'll be back.